Hey, what's up everyone? James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining me on our first stealth camping video of 2025. So I am out here in a very small town in New Mexico called Orogrande. Now it is damn nearly an abandoned ghost town, but I'll delve into the history of this area later on tonight. For now, I just decided to do a stealth camping area. This is an abandoned gas station, as you could see earlier today, and you can't help but notice it. Anytime you're traveling out of town and you got to pass through this road, you see this dilapidated rinky-dink gas station, and I think that's a really cool spot to just, explore this area and, of course, do some stealth camping, find a place to set my bedding for the night, eat some delicious food, all that good stuff. And for today on the menu, we have on MRE. So we're going to be trying that out. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. Let's get started. Since I'm staying the night, I have my sleeping pad, as you can see down there. I have my wool blanket in there, and then I have my MRE to eat. Extra water. I have a spare water over there on the side, which is not much since we're out here in the desert. I don't have streams and things like that, and because this town is damn near abandoned, I'm not sure where to find water in terms of like a faucet or anything like that. There is a gas station across the street, and I'll show it later, that I may just have to bite the bullet and just go buy water. Heading this way, and you can see across the street there is a gas station. So yeah, whatever I may need, which I don't need anything but water, so I'll probably just go get some there. And then, yeah, like I said, there's not a lot of people here. I'd say at most like 50 residents, but there is a trailer park over there right next to the gas station, an RV park, so I don't want to be making a lot of ruckus and drawing attention to myself. So sunset is almost here. It's about time that I start making my shelter before the sun sets. Now, this place is fairly clean where I'm gonna lay down. One problem is these little bastards, and there's no other way to describe them. I don't know if you've ever seen these before. They're very prevalent in the Southwest, and these are little spikes, and they hurt. Little stickers, and you get them all over your feet. See, this is me just kicking them off my boots. And so I'm doing my best to not carry them with me to my bedding. I knew it. Look at all these beds. Well, everyone, I'm getting pretty hungry. I'm ready to rip open that MRE. But before I do that, I think it's important for me to just hurry on up and just get it over with. Go get that water from across the street at the gas station, because I can't figure out another way to get water out here. And I still want to make coffee in the morning. Plus, this town is such a small, sleepy little town that I wouldn't be surprised if that gas station is closing soon. And it's barely 6:30, so fingers crossed they're still open. And let's go get us our H2O. So let's turn off all lights. Let's go. So I'm going to spare you the boring walk to the gas station. In the meantime, I'm going to give you a summary on this town. So once again, this town is called Orogrande, and that is Spanish for big gold. Now, originally it was called Haria Junction, built in 1897. But in 1905, a huge gold nugget was found nearby, and they changed the name of the town to Orogrande. Now, it was said to have gold, copper, silver, iron ore, and turquoise nearby. Of course, looking back historically, all these boom towns, majority of the people that made profit off of them were the saloon keepers, the shop owners that were making money off these poor fools that came over here thinking that they were going to get rich, and instead they got ripped off. And this town was no different. Once the dust settled and they realized that there was not a lot of riches to be found, majority of the people left. And they left behind countless of mines nearby. I mean, we're talking hundreds of mines found in this area. Some are closed off, some are still able to, you're still able to explore. And nearby, there is a military reservation, Fort Bliss, that's between Orogrande and El Paso, Texas. And you see a lot of times the Humvees and the military trucks and tanks nearby running drills and exercises. Now, although majority of Orogrande is pretty much a ghost town, majority of people have left, there is about 50 people, and that's being generous, that are still living here. There's a couple of houses, a post office, a gas station, and there is a church, although I want to say that that church has been closed for some time now. But a very interesting little town, and we always pass it every time we're traveling to New Mexico, like Cloudcroft or Ruidoso. We pass through this little area, and I always found it so fascinating. I like all these little broken down, post-apocalyptic looking towns. Find it a very interesting scenery. Okay, everyone, so got ourselves some water, and the night is getting pretty chilly. Now, funny thing is, I came here and I sat down, and my air mattress is completely empty. It's hollow. It's there's no air in it. It's been deflated, and that's not good. Look at this thing, completely deflated. So, oh look, there we go. That's the problem. I didn't put this thing on right. I didn't pop it correctly in, so let's try that again. I'm pretty hungry. All right, folks. So like I said, it's getting pretty cold, so I'm just going to Bilbo Baggins it up a little bit with my wool blanket. And then now it's time to chow down. So I have an MRE. Someone's coming. It's time to eat. So I said earlier, we're going to do an MRE. Now, I'm not the biggest MRE or dehydrated meals in general, for that matter. And none of these backpacker meals, they just don't do it for me. Mountain House, like I said, I like to eat fancy, but a time and a place. So let's go ahead and open this up and start chowing down, and I'll tell you what I think. So, go ahead and cut this open. Okay, folks, so this is going to be our table for the evening, this little cinder block, and I'm going to show you the inventory that came with my MRE. So, of course, you got this little cardboard, like Hot Pockets, where you put the hot meal in here. Then we have this. This is the actual beef ravioli and meat sauce right here. We're going to have to warm that up in a bit. We did get some M&Ms. That's nice. Little sugar boost. Now, these are pretty funny when you buy MREs because sometimes they're already, expired. Let me see. Best before 10/20/21. So, you can't see that there, but, yeah, they expired in the year of our Lord 2021, 4 years ago. But, I've eaten worse. We have beverage base powder tropical punch. I'm not a tropical punch guy. I don't like sweets, to be honest, so I may save that for later. We have a cheese spread. Then you got all the towelettes and stuff like that. Gum, which I don't eat gum. Coffee, creamer. And then you got the little heating thing. Banana nut bread muffin top. Okay. Time to place this in here. Placed in here. We need to place... Okay, time to place some water in between these lines. And just gotta put it at an angle like that. So, from what I remember about MREs, they're very bland. So while ours is heating up, I did bring my spice kit over here. Nothing fancy, but just pepper, salt, blackening, just to spruce it up a bit. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and take this out of here. Okay, just moving it around in there. Feels very warm. Yeah, I just want to make sure that everything is equally warm, because some parts on an MRE, sometimes some parts are really warm and some parts are really cold. So you want to just move things around. And by the way, I've never been in the service. I've never been in the military. So this is just me learning as I go. I've never been, taught how to properly handle an MRE. So it's fine. Okay, so let's kind of make sure all the food goes down here, the bottom, so we can open this up. And there is our ravioli. Mamma mia. Got a little bit of salt here. Some pepper. And some crushed red pepper. All right, so moment of truth with our ravioli. This is good. This is really good. It tastes very similar to just Chef Boyardee. Mm-hmm. Devoured that. And I was hungry. So I thought I was filming, and I wasn't, so apologies for that. But I did open up the tropical punch powder, and I threw it in my canteen. Threw about half a canteen's worth of water in here. Probably a little bit more so I could water it down, since I don't have much of a sweet tooth. It's a little clumpy. It looks like little fish eggs floating at the top. But let's just give it a shot. Let's give it a try. Bottoms up. That's not bad. That's not bad. I was expecting it to be overwhelmingly sweet, and it's not. But at the same time, it's not just pink water. It actually tastes like some kind of, a fruit punch, or like Gatorade. It almost tastes like red Gatorade to me. All right, all right. This is not a bad MRE. MREs, because once again, I haven't been in the service, so I don't know them all. So it's always a crapshoot. Sometimes you get one and it's just absolutely disgusting. I had one time that was like something like an omelet, some kind of breakfast type food once, and it was just horrifyingly disgusting. Pretty good. It is not bad. This is a great MRE. That ravioli was delicious. It makes me wonder why anyone would want to be a sucker and travel all the way to Italy to eat fresh ravioli, in the countryside when you can just stealth camp behind an abandoned gas station and get an MRE and heat up a little ravioli with a little shortbread with cheese. And, I'm not much of a wine drinker, but a little bit of some punch is kind of similar, a little bit. So, bottoms up, everyone, to live in the good life. So I already finished my dinner. I'm taking all this trash and just moving it just a small ways away from my campsite because I don't want any food particles to attract insects or rodents. And I promise I'll come pick this up before I leave tomorrow. But yeah, I just don't want to attract any creepy crawlies, especially since it's been kind of warm lately. They might have already awoken. All right. Time to break out my beanie. And the wool socks, because it is cold. Yeah. And then time to get these bad boys on. I've been sweating in my socks all day, so time to take these off so I'm not cold at night. Feeling much better, especially this beanie. This beanie is really doing a big job in retaining my heat and leaving me comfortable. And with that being said, folks, I think I'm going to call it a night early. Just go to sleep, try to stay warm, and then in the morning, of course, I'll get some coffee going, eat some breakfast. But yeah, I'm going to start getting ready for bed. So before we actually make coffee, I'm just boiling some water so I can remove all the pink sludge that's left over from yesterday's punch. It's grossing me out and I don't want to mix the coffee with that stuff. So boiling some water to kind of loosen it up. All right, that should be clean enough. Good morning, everyone. Cheers. Nice and hot. So, last night was freezing, and I mean freezing. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating. It dropped to 43 degrees, which isn't the end of the world, but I was shivering the whole damn night. I would come in and out of sleep, but I would quickly be woken up because of how cold it was. It wasn't until the sun rose around 6:30 that I could start feeling the warmth coming in, and that's when I fell asleep, and I overslept. It's about 8:30 right now, so right now it feels so good to feel that sunlight. And a little trick that I did last night, and this really helps, is I have these hot hands, right, that I had in my haversack, and when I'm sleeping, I place them right over my ears, and the beanie, of course, helps keep them there. And that does help. That does help. All the little blood vessels that travel to your ears, and your ear is such a thin membrane, that it's getting warmed up by the hot hands. But sadly, just this and a wool blanket was not enough. Honestly, I feel like if I had a decent jacket, I would have been much better, because my legs weren't really giving me a problem. It's more like my shoulders, the back of my arms. But it was so hot yesterday that I decided to forego the jacket. And, yeah. All right, time to take this off. It's getting really hot now. And I am missing a hat. I am so used to wearing a hat every day, and it provides me a visor, a brim, protecting my eyes from the sunlight. And since I don't have that today, I got that Clint Eastwood stare going on, but without looking cool. So yeah, next time bring a jacket and a hat regardless. Oh man. But anyway, it's warming up now, so let's get some breakfast going. I got that chocolate banana nut muffin top from the MRE, and let's see what this is all about. Now, as I've mentioned before plenty of times, I don't have much of a sweet tooth, so muffins and stuff like that, they're very rare that I eat that. But it's nice to switch it up once in a while. Okay, now this thing is a mess down here. Okay, so oh yeah, this thing must have fallen and been crushed maybe by other MREs, so this thing is just like, it's a crumble cake. Oh well. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty damn good, I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting it to be some little brick, some old stale piece of bread, almost like sweetened hardtack. But no, this thing is pretty soft. It's like a little coffee cake almost. This is good. That was a good MRE. man. All right, now I'm coming back to life, because man, that morning was freezing. And even in the morning when I'm trying to get some filming going, I just could not separate myself from my wool blanket. I was nice and warm in there. But yeah, the sun feels good now. Of course, I'm going to be hating that sun in an hour from now when I'm baking under it. But for now, it's bringing me to life like I'm a reptile. Well, folks, that's about it for me. This may be something of a short stealth camping video, but it was fun nonetheless. So, like I said earlier, I think stealth camping is an important thing to practice as someone who dabbles in preparedness and EDC and survival. It's not the most prettiest, it's not the most glamorous, but I think it gets you out of your comfort zone. You get to test out your gear and your skills and your resourcefulness. You know, what works in the wilderness, making a bow drill for fire and catching a trout to eat, may not work out here. So once again, you gotta switch your perspective, and I think that's really fun. Now, once again, my gear worked great. I think once again, I fail in certain aspects. I always underestimate the cold, knowing fully well that that's my weakness. And I should have anticipated that the nights get cold. I knew it was gonna get cold, but not that bad. It could also be the fact that I've also been kind of very comfortable these last 2 months. I haven't really camped these last 2 months, so I've been nice and warm at my house with my blankets and my heater, and so you kind of get soft. You know, you got to kind of toughen up, and you know, so that could also have been playing a part in it. But other than that, I had a great time, and I like to share these little ghost towns nearby to my area and give a little history on them. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, and let me know what you think down below on stealth camping. Is it a waste of time? Is it more of a spectacle than it is actually learning experience? Let me know, and I'll see you guys next week with another video. Now go outside and get your boots dirty.